Do my eyes deceive me?
Nope. They do not.
What is happening? A split play coming out.
It is, in fact, happening in a BO1. Usually this is the map that you see teams avoid like the plague when they're in these single map elimination type series. But it's going to be a little bit interesting here. We got ASMR mounting a defense to start things off. Mix-Up, then starting on the attack. Let's favor the side, though it is a bit easier to play now. Straight in the site goes Physic and Harmful deals with him. Jet taking out Jet. That is just an extermination early on. But site control has been established. The question is, can they find a safe enough haven within it to actually get this plant? It seems like the answer may be nay. Coming back through is Harmful, maybe forcing the issue a bit early as his teammates weren't quite in position to press. They are now going to be making their move to have to block out. That means this spike will go down. So already one advantage given over to Mix-Up, and they're starting to win the damage battle as well. He does lose it, but his teammates are holding the backline, and it is just the backline that remains. All the slaves dueling off here. Thief with the 2-tap, 2 shots, 2 kills, no problem for Thief. A 4K in the round, and it seems like he hasn't lost a step from Bind. Now on over to Split.
And we see a massive juggle of agent comp as well coming in for Mix-Up. Hoppin goes off the brim, goes over to the Omen. Physic was playing the Cypher. He's now playing the Jet. A Proto, I can't even remember who A Proto was playing. Thief was playing the Raze. This has been a massive juggle up. I think maybe A Proto was playing Sova. I know that Stellar was on the Sage. That's basically the only thing that stayed the same, which you'll see sometimes. I do love the fact that we're going to get that Jet play, and it almost worked out really well for Harmful. So Harmful had that cloud burst going back towards Elbow. The camera came up for Cypher. It was just outside that smoke. So he was actually able to walk through that smoke and get into the site, but he whiffed a little bit. He had Thief dead to rights, and he just couldn't pull through on the shot. And then Thief is the one that ends up coming up big for Mix-Up and pretty much clutching out the pistol round for them.
Omen. Cover going out.
All right, here we go. Here's the take. A little bit of shorty play. Always do love that. See if it can work out. It's a tricky map to make a shorty work on. There's a few tight angles, cheeky plays you can make. I'm thinking, of course, of a boost up in towards wires, but you can get up on top of that if you're a Gent or a Raze and maybe catch somebody off guard. But it's gotten to the point where teams start to look for it on these kind of cheeky, thrifty rounds. Just a ghost here for Physic. Physic making some inroads, though. Might just be able to get this orb without punishment. It's a shorty on the other side. So if there's a peek in, this is going to be an easy fight to win. But Fox is going to play close. We do have that breach, who, as you said, fallen a bit out of favor. But the 92 great here for Fox. Gets the spot. Blows the first shot. And now there's not really going to be an opportunity for it. Physic takes down the Heaven player. Fox really in an awkward spot. And they're holding it on to breach in just the right way to deal with that shorty. No chance to have the impact he was hoping for. A heal going to be coming in for Weak, but that's not enough to keep him alive. And at this point, with control of Heaven, with control in towards the site, with the spike down, this round is over. It is just left. Try and catch one kill, and catch one he will. Catching him right on the chin. It's Hoppin to clear things out, make sure that he can't escape with a gun.
And one of the things I love about a Jet on this map in specific is that you can work that shoddy meta really hard. You can also do it with the Stinger. It's something we saw Code 7 do when I was covering the Pulse Invitational. It was Rob Wiz, who plays as the Jet for them, now playing under the Built by Gamers brand, who plays that Stinger on the Jet so masterfully. Just basically running at their opponents, holding W, dashing into really close fights, catching them off guard as they're going for utility. And you can do the same thing with a shotgun, and it's just incredibly disgusting how powerful that can actually be. Hoppin has the ice in front of him right now, slowing down his advance, so he's going to hang back just a bit while he waits for the ice to fade. There'll be a wall coming out, though, from Weak. Up in Heaven, they'll start chiseling away at that ice to try and take out that wall. You've got Fox currently over in B, holding this angle in B main. Dangerous angle given what's coming his way, but Physic peeks in shallow, and he's punished by the Cypher.
I'm curious to see this setup from Fox. Obviously, there was a bit of an aggressive peak, but you can see now he's adjusting the tripwires. That's more where we expect to see the wire go. He had them pretty far back in towards site initially, maybe just to avoid them getting destroyed in the initial phase, but now they'll be a bit more secure. And we see a rotation off, but the rotation is not effective. Thief was trying to make his way in towards heaven. Weak catches him instead. This is now a big problem for Mixup, as they've been rebuffed at every turn. There's further information for Weak, knows the hit's coming through here, has a teammate to play off with as well. They can trade. Slow Orb coming in at just the right time. They dodged the flash. Yes, they've taken Heaven, but they haven't gotten the fight they were hoping for. Nice wall to isolate these two players, but the race has already adjusted. That rotation's going to be coming in. It's left to Fox to hold the line. Fox holding the right side, has that first kill. It was actually harmful to get it, but now the cavalry is here. He's fought enough time and done exactly his duty there. The only casualty of the round as ASMR, they get on the board.
This map, so incredibly defense-sided. So the last thing you want to see if you're on ASMR is that opponent Mixup piling up rounds on the attack. So they find the first two, they win the pistol, they find that follow-up, but they lose the first buy round. Because of the way they won the first two, though, there's enough money left in the reserve to go ahead and go for that full buy. So Physic is going to have the op in play yet again. This time he's watching for the A main push, not going to come through. There's a dark cover coming down. And a watch for the push just in case, but no one's going to be pushing through. The Omen's back towards screens. And there's a jet right around the corner as well. They'll use the cyber cage to try and peek out. Thief gets spotted as the spam comes through from Joseph. It'll be Harmful and Joseph who both combo kills. And it's down to 3 now for the side of Mixup. A promising start to the round from ASMR as again another one will peek out. It's a Proto losing the battle to Harmful. And this just went from bad to worse as it's now been reduced to a 2-man push for Mixup.
Here. Blinding.
Nice use of the paranoia. It does push one player off, but there's support here from Harmful, and you don't need to see if you can just chuck nades. Who needs vision? We've got explosives. Harmful may have actually overlooked a player coming around on his flank now, but Stellar doesn't realize it. Oh, Stellar has no idea. How is he alive still? The cyber cage making things a little bit awkward, but ultimately it will be ASMR to take their second to tie things up here and to start to cement that strong defense that we expect. That was nearly a massive play from Stellar, but just looking right, focusing on the player in heaven and not realizing what was coming in with wire. Timing came back to bite him in a big way. Did you see that tripwire? I love that tripwire up in heaven, just on the ramp around in towards sight from Fox. That's cheeky.
There are some awesome tripwires you can throw. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see it. It's one of those things that I don't know when it happened, but eventually you stop being able to see tripwires. So you can see them on the mini-map, but you can't actually see them. In fact, sometimes people will see a player standing still in front of a tripwire and they wonder why they're not moving. It's because they're waiting to shoot the wire before pushing up. So, yeah. There is a one-way down currently for B main. You can see the paranoia come through. There's the dash into sight. There's that shotgun play we were talking about. The shorty, when you get up that close with the shotgun, it's so good, but turn up. Gonna turn up just like his name says he should. And he'll find 3 on the sight push. It's down to now just 2. And one of them currently in B main at Stellar with a nice shot coming out from the Sheriff. The res is available, but the wall is not. So they're gonna just have to cross. The shot's not gonna come through in the second fight. So they don't get the spike down on that B site. And they'll get reduced to ashes as it's 3 rounds in a row now for ASMR.
The operator's going to come out here for Physic. I'm curious to see where this gets brought. Obviously, we've got an operator for both sides, Harmful and Physic, 2 jets. That's where we expect to see the op get placed. The advantage of the jet is she just helps mitigate some of the most mobility disadvantages that you have when you're opping. Obviously, getting out of a situation if you miss your first shot can be very tricky, or even if you do hit it and there's a trade available. So that's what jet affords you. And we're seeing a lot more of that. It seems like Physic's going to be bringing the fight in towards mid. Unfortunately, for our sake, for the viewership's sake, it's not going to be the optimal just yet. Get on the other side. Very far away. It's going to be the Raze instead to go for a hop, to go for a pop, but missed it on the first shot. Went for the confirm on the info, and as a result, they had enough time to duck and cover. So no kills coming through with that showstopper. That's going to be the Roomba to try and do the work, but no, thinks better of it. Bails out, gets out of that situation. There'll be a wire here and a cage to buy some time perhaps for the Cypher, but Fox is just going to have to back right on out of there, not fancying the fight with that many bodies in towards heaven, and they are funneling straight into this site proper. Turn up. Has to put in some serious work here once more. This time they're not holding shorty, they're holding rifle, and that will be his death. Spike likely going down here and long out of this site. It's a tough spot, especially as Harmful gets caught from the late lurk, and Thief taps on another. So impressive here. And a Proto just walking out the smoke right through the dark cover. Catches Fox regardless of whether he knew where the player was.
Great play coming out from Thief, who's currently the top performer right now for Mixup, 7-3-2. Thief putting in work. But we will have the operator in play again for Harmful. Matched by Physic on the opposite side, both playing the Jet.
Even fight?
But of course.
Fun.
What's
You'll
your
see
number
this
that
angle
you're looking for
utilized.
these days on Split?
I think we're going to see this fight take place right off the bat. So I love that angle. That angle up on top of the planter. Didn't mean to just ignore your question there, but that angle up on top of that little box in the corner, it could be so dirty in that spot. Ult canceled there by the Omen as well. Uh-oh. How does this work so well? Somehow, he's able to escape as they're going for the push on the site. Ends up getting behind his teammates so they can combo the hold, and it all starts to fall apart here for Mixup. Turnup's gonna find 4 on the round as it comes down to a Proto, another res coming in for the defense. And it's gonna be ASMR who managed to defend. I love the move from the Omen. Joseph trying to get into the screens, just barely escapes as he gets across. But what was your question? I missed it. I'm sorry.
I was just going to talk about where in the current shift of Split, where you look to see that number. It was not an important question for the actual round. That one happened lickety split.
What number? Like the round numbers?
Yeah, on the attack. What are you looking for?
I mean, 4 probably is where the default lies. I'd say 4 is pretty much standard. 3 to 4 rounds. If a team gets 5, I'd say that's pretty successful. If they get 6, that's insane. You'll see some teams have really strong attack sides, but for the most part, yeah, I'd say that pretty much falls within the realm of average. I think it's a 65-35 map currently, based on esports statistics that are gathered, not just all matches across the board. But even, I think at that level, I think it's like 70-30, so it's a little bit more skewed defense in pub play, which kind of skews the statistics a little bit more, whereas other maps are a little bit more 50-50, like Binders, I think like 51-49 currently.
There's a flash through, but the wall will slow this. Weak, almost got away there. Hoppin just managed to catch it despite the slow orb. Here's going to be ult coming back through. Only finds one. Top turnup might be going for the multiple there. That's going to be some space gained. Nice use of the Cypher ult to find a ton of information here. They're just going to use the charge to enable the rotation, to enable the back out since their positions were known. There's going to be some dark cover forward and deep, which may just slow them, but no, they're coming through. No fear whatsoever. There's the face-off with the Omen. Here's going to be the peek from Harmful, but they've gone past. This is going to be the full flank. Can the Omen survive? Joseph doing a good job of it so far, and with Turnip securing heaven, this could get easier. Doing a ton of damage. Now the ult coming back in from Jet. She's showing us what she's got, but it's up to Turnip again. From the grave to find an 8 kill. 3 in this round. Everything on Fox. Fox in the 1v2, coming back in from heaven. Spike down. Time, an issue. The drop down going to give a little bit of an audio cue, especially just a 1v1 here, as somehow I lost track of the players. And Fox has it, no problem. The clutch is there. A Proto over and dealt with. The spike defuse can be on, and we can look at the train schedule as there's going to be no problem here. And ASMR take a bit.
Yeah, there we go. There's the departures. There is a departure for, I think it's called Chromodome. It's very insulting. If you go, you have to actually go into, I think there's like a small area with all of the departure boards towards where you come up there it is, right to our left, right next to Joseph. And one of them is Chromodome. And I'm like, oh, come on, that's not fair to us bald people.
They're just honoring you
there it is.
In the game.
Chromodome. 803. It's right on time.
Yep, there we go.
Platform 19.
803 for Chromodome. You've already got a tribute in game. That's how iconic you've been in the early days of Valorant. Should feel special.
I do. I always do, Mike. Because my parents told me I was special every day of my life. Harmful backside with the operator. Oh, that one stings. He clips him, hits him in the shoulder. It's a wing shot coming out onto Physic. Unfortunate, as the timing and the placement of the shot just don't work out well. Thief sneaking up mid oh so carefully as the wall is down currently at the top side of mailroom. The stairs leading to heaven shut down for the moment. Thief is just holding this one so insanely patient. As he goes for the peek, it's brutal. Fox is just so incredibly patient. Both players were waiting that one out. The wall came through, and it works out nicely for them initially, but Weak is still here in heaven, able to find one more. Joseph from distance, dropping Stellar. The paranoia coming out as well through the plywood. There's two to his right. He'll take one. Turnup will find the other. ASMR continue to pile up rounds here on the defensive side of Split.
Really nicely played from Joseph there. That was quality in the fragging departments. Holding that pixel angle in towards heaven, gets the headshot, just insta-killed there. Drops the paranoia. It could not have been more perfectly placed, and then knows the swing. Spamming the angle, working with his teammate as well. That's the quality type of play we like to see. But at the top of the scoreboard, we got to talk about a Turnup. I mean, wow. 13-7-1 right now. Turnup prices, they are high on this particular island.
Shadows traveling.
Is that how Animal Crossing works? I haven't actually played the game yet, Mark.
I have never touched Animal Crossing. I don't even have a console currently. I am a PC gamer through and through. I built my first PC when I was 12 years old. I've owned like maybe 2 consoles in my adult life. So I will always be loyal to the PC. It's not that there's a problem with console. It's just not for me.
Well, you got young ones. At a certain point, they're gonna start to have asks. You might find yourself with some consoles in the house. Or if they ask for a console, you're gonna be like, well, I'm building you a PC. And if they say, no, but I want a Nintendo, you kick them out of the home, right? Is that how this goes?
I mean, my son's been asking me for a Switch for a while. Maybe eventually. We just keep telling him, hey, just save up your money and maybe you can get one. Little does he know, they're almost impossible to find currently. The camera comes out from Thief, and it's stolen immediately as the defense is set up in solid positioning. They're crushing the push here as they try to come through. Joseph is going to get 3 from elbow. A 7th round for ASMR. This is the most ASMR I think I've ever personally watched. No?
Yeah. Just very tingly. All the tingles right now. Very relaxing. Is that?
I love all these teams coming up with fun acronyms for their names. I think obviously Together We Are Terrific steals the cake, but ASMR is pretty good too.
I mean, that one apparently has years and years of history. Really a good trendsetter for the rest of the scene as well. You know, when you get an inspired team making a lot of noise. This time, Harmful's going to win the duel. No wing shots here. A nice shot to the dome. Make sure he's going to have it. And here's the second as well. Harmful coming back from the well. It's all Harmful with the operator. Spitting fire once more. Harmful with the 4K. Only the Cypher remains in a proto. He is up the creek. Actually, Thief on the Cypher this time around. Thief coming back in, gets 2. Looking for the last. Control in towards heaven would need a massive clutch going back the other way instead. He's looking for it. Creeping on in. Gonna have the information as well off of the ult. But the spike is down, so his movements, they're a little bit telegraphed. They know where he's gonna come through. At the positional information. The operator off of it. Player moving into garage, that's a good call as well. Camera might yield some information. There's going to be the spot, sets the tag as well, but second player to bait. We're going to go for the peek. Got the Sage. Not punished either. 35 seconds. Still punished. Looking for it. Dodges the first off shot. Has a good idea of where the second is. Great reads from Thief. Looking for this peek. Looking for this force. Into the angle he goes, but Thief is on for the ace. Perhaps one more. 20 seconds to find it, but no. Turnup denies. Dueling 4Ks in the round, but Thief just couldn't quite come up with the massive 1v5 clutch.
I mean, he had 2 bullets left at that point, so it would have been quite difficult for him. I like the play coming in from ASMR there, too, with Weak eating that dart and just keeping it in him. Like, just sitting there, sending ping after ping, knowing that he's got the raise right underneath. I'm a little bit confused as why Turnup decides to move, and not only that, make audible noise moving.
Yeah.
He had that on lock. He never saw him there. So if anything, he could continue to hold that angle. The anticipation would be that it would be clear. You know, you kind of let the Sage lay out that bait play for you, and you're like, nah, never mind. Thanks anyway. It's like kind of brutal to watch. It does end up working out for them in the end, but it was a little bit scary and way sketchier than it needed to be, as Thief almost managed to bring that one back. And now we move to the final round of the first half here. 8-3 currently for ASMR. Mixup looking to find just one to cap off this first half to make it a little bit easier for them on the defense to try and claw back that lead.
Timing here for Fox could be everything. Is he going to be the face? There's the confirmation of the position. The teleport coming out. Fox will now trigger the cage. A second as well to fake that he's not actually here. And he'll catch a player coming in late. That's a proto. He gets caught off. So the caboose has been cut right off. Now it's Physic.
Here.
Trying to get the spikes landed. Should be able to do so without being faced. But his teammates, meanwhile, are getting picked off. This is tough.
I know
And
exactly.
ASMR, they're winning the numbers battle. Thief just in time finds that kill before the position is revealed.
So he's
Timing
funny.
everything there, but this time it's going to be no massive spike available. And an ult straight to the face finishes off Physic, allows the last player alive, Fox, to get the defuse. He's making another face here as we get a little bit of art. It is going to be a 9-3 half on as we head into the second. Now Mixup will get a chance for defense, but a lackluster attack after a promising start sees them only net one round past the pistol.
And there's the bug. I applaud our observer for trying, but there's only so much you can do. Unfortunately, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it hits overtime, it'll come back, don't worry. But for now, we get a little bit of a taste, as we'll see one player on each side. So we'll get to know at least what the rough money looks like, but we won't get a full picture of it. Hopefully it'll be fixed in this week's patch coming through from Riot. They are aware of it, that and the Suede bug. And hopefully they're aware of some of the other spectating bugs, because there's actually quite a few that a lot of people don't even know exist currently. Like halftime, all the position
favorite?
swap, all the keybinds. Probably the keybind swap at half. That one was really bad in the beta, and then it came back after they fixed it with the most recent... Actually, it wasn't even the most recent patch. It was the patch before that. So they had fixed it, and it was gone, and everything was working fine. And then, not this last patch, but the patch prior, it reared its ugly head again. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, basically at half, the binds all change for the players. It's a little bit rough. The good thing is, Valorant's team at Riot has been really good with listening to the community when it comes to a lot of these bugs, and have been able to resolve some of them pretty quickly, and have also been really good at listening to community feedback. Obviously, they implemented X-Ray, despite the fact that they had stated they didn't want to put it in the game. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I wish they hadn't, but at the same point in time, I get why people want it. But I do love the fact that they're listening and that they're constantly trying to fine-tune the process. Eventually, they'll find that magical recipe and get everything perfect for us.
My favorite thing about it is that we don't actually have to do the observing this time around. That's all up to our fine friend Pythian Lagoon, who has to struggle through all the various
that's the
spectator
best.
bugs. That's just the absolute best. Thanks, Justin, for saving us this trouble. I just get to sit back, talk, watch, relax, hang out with you. He has to suffer. Roomba going forward. Turn up, trying to find some space off of this. It's not quite going to catch anybody, but there's a Cypher in the corners. This might be false information. Camera goes out. Now there's the push in towards Heaven. Perfect timing on the paranoia. Harmful will capitalize. Big setup by the Omen. A trade comes through here from Deep. Will secure the garage, so now that helps secure the back line. They've got the spike as well, so despite this Heaven control, what can they actually do with it is the big question now, as they have been hemmed in, encircled, be exterminated. Nice kill from Weak, but again, he's bought them spaced out towards A. Problem is they don't have that spike, so they can't leave. They've got to come back to this fight. They've got to come back to this crossfire being set up
Message
by
sent.
Stellar and Thief. And wow, that's a crispy shot from Stellar. Thief now into the 1v1. He's got no health, but all he needs is the one dome shot. The heal will come back from the other side. He knows Weak is
No
fully
charges left.
in the fight. It is Weak to come out with a 4K. Thief nearly had that. Just 20 health remaining on the Sage. But ultimately, it will be ASMR to secure round 10 and possibly set themselves up for an easy start here and get towards that map point.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you want to see happen right now if you're Mixup. You really needed that pistol round to try and propel this second half forward. I'm kind of curious to see how they approach this round, and if they go with a force up here. Given the score line currently and understanding the nature of the map, a force up in the second round on a map like Split It's kind of like a roll of the dice at 50-50. They decide to not go for it, so it's just going to be pistols coming into play. You've got Physic with the shotgun. Rather than taking the fight straight to them with the dash, he's going to be hanging back a bit. A Proto does go for the peek with the Sheriff. Physic's going to be waiting around the corner with the shotgun, waiting for the push to come through, but they've already gone up ramp. And at this point, it's going to be difficult for him to do much. The shotgun, though, does eventually work out for Physic as he chimes in from the backside of the play. Will pick off 2 somehow, and that results in a 2-on-2. They've got spike control, but the 2 remaining players have already made it over to this A site. There's one currently in heaven. It's the Omen around the corner with a shotgun. Now they have ropes control, and they're just going to hightail it over towards the B site. Thief in sight, only with a ghost. But we've seen Thief do some ridiculous things. It's certainly not a guaranteed win currently as they move on over towards the B site and go for the spike plant.
The interesting thing here as well is this is going to give Thief a chance to potentially get an upgrade. That fight's going to go down, but what has Thief found in the meantime? It's a Spectre, so not the best thing in the world, perhaps, but effective in this round, and as you said, we've seen Thief pull off the impossible before. This time just a 1v2, not the 1v5 he had before, but no! Nice play from Weak, who's had a strong start to this second half, just getting it done with the stage, with the Ghost. Tap to the dome, and 11th found for ASMR. Only 2 more needed to seal the deal and advance onwards here in the Nerd Street Gamers Valorant Open.
Here.
11 rounds. Looking a little bit scary right now for Mixup. Again, you've got that Judge Jetty meta. The Jet on ASMR rocking the Judge, and it is so scary. And it makes playing B site as a Cypher so annoying when there's a Jet, because they'll just dash into the site, past all your tripwires, take out all your utility on the way. There's the peek from Physic, and Physic has to back off. Was sneaking back into the dark cover as the bullets started to come through, dropped down to very low HP, and that kind of results in some loss of control, and Mid has to get the heal, but they're going to be coming on into this B site. They do have a dart currently in the Sage. They're trying to make their way out. The slow orb's keeping them at bay for the time being. Slowly trying to find one. The boombox gives away the position, and it continues moving forward after its initial target goes down. It's a chaotic take on the site that results in a 2-on-2, but the spike still hasn't been planted, and there's bodies everywhere currently. It's down to the Omen against the Breach. A Proto, 83 HP. The Omen severely lit in the backside of site. The peak comes through. The SMG is going to win it out. 12-3, ASMR barely survived the round, but they take themselves to match point.
That's all that matters, isn't it, Mark? I mean, that round was complete alphabet soup on the site, but somehow the letters did spell out Joseph, and managed to get the final kill, and at this point, look, by hook or by crook, you've gotten that 12th round, you've got so many opportunities to just get the one you need. This would be the comeback. To end all comebacks for Mixup, they need 9 rounds in a row for overtime. Yes, they've got a solid chance at it because it is such a strong defensive side here on Split. There can be no
Get out of
mistakes.
my way!
And Harmful's already trying to get forward. We've got the ults coming in because, of course, if you're not going to burn them now, when are you going to? Physic getting those knives out, ready for it. Be tooling off with the operator. 1 click, 1 kill. And Cyber Cage to block vision for now. It's going to be the peak batch from a Proto. Could find the timing to set up his teammate here. Oh no, awkward on the flash. It just blooms in time. That could be the death. The leak is upon him, and here comes the res as well. Is it? 1. No more. Now the site lost, the spike going down, the plant, the numbers, everything working in the favor of ASMR. This might just be doom now. The Judge on this team from Thief can net nothing. The player close up was not the doodle he found. Instead, the operator at range. And there's a chance for a trade here. At this point, Hoffman just trying to find a player in the corner. They've got the res to at least bring back a Proto, give them some numbers, but the showstopper is stopping everything here for Mixup, and that's going to be it. Joseph coming in with the final 2 kills. It is 13-3. A dominant victory here from ASMR as they stamp their mark.